Joining us now is Marik Von Rennenkampff. He's a former analyst of the U.S. Department of State and Department of Defense and the Hill opinion writer. Marik, what do you think might have happened to General McCasland? This is the most bizarre story.
It sure is, and given his stature and the level of the secrets that he had access to prior to his separation from government, make this extremely concerning. I think we're following the updates from the local sheriff's office, as close as we can, and it sounds like there's no evidence of foul play, but the circumstances under which he disappeared are certainly odd. It sounds like he didn't take his electronic devices, but it appears that he took a firearm with him, a .38 revolver. Strange, certainly odd. And again, given the caliber of the individual, I think there are some people at high levels within our government that are very nervous about this disappearance.
Yeah, at the high level, he was a very high-ranking officer who was in charge of some very top-secret programs, which happened to involve UFOs, or UAPs, as the government now calls them. And I mentioned in the setup that there have been I interviewed David Grush about this, Lou Elizondo about this. There have been whistleblowers on UFO programs who have received threats in the past.
Not only have Lou Elizondo and David Grush articulated those threats, or those perceived or alleged threats, none other than Secretary of State Marco Rubio has explicitly said that UAP whistleblowers fear for their lives, like literally fear death if they speak out. He mentioned that actually to NewsNation's Joe Khalil, 2023. He reiterated that in Age of Disclosure, the film that I think many in your audience might be familiar with. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, this is bipartisan, Democrat from New York, who sits on both the Senate Armed Services and Intelligence Committees and has been really a remarkable voice on the UAP topic, also said that these UAP whistleblowers, high-level officials, fear death for speaking to Congress. I mean, think of the constitutional implications here. Congress is absolutely, a legitimate recipient of classified information, provided that it's done correctly. But I do want to quickly just go back to Rubio. He was asked about his appearance in the Age of Disclosure, and he said, this was back in December, he said that, quote, generals and admirals, so like the caliber of individual that we're talking about here with General McCasland, have come to him or the Senate Intelligence Committee in his previous position, and said that there are programs that even presidents, UAP programs, that presidents are not informed of. So just think of the enormity, the gravity of that statement. Our most senior military leaders, flag and general officers, are saying this. That's quite extraordinary. So given this, the totality of the evidence, it's deeply concerning.
Yeah, and by the way, Rubio's point, Secretary of State Marco Rubio's point in this was that presidents don't know because presidents come and go. The longest a president can stick around is 8 years. But that defense contractors like Lockheed Martin or other companies that are trying to reverse engineer from alien remains of an alien spacecraft, they've spent decades and decades doing this research and getting access to this classified information and perhaps classified remains.
That's the allegation, and I'm very glad you mentioned Lockheed Martin, because the McCasland story takes a remarkable and very eerie, now that we look back on it, twist. In 2016, the Podesta emails, he was the campaign chairman of the Clinton campaign, those emails leaked, and we saw in those emails that Podesta, who's a big UFO guy, who's committed to declassification and transparency, he met with General McCasland to talk UAP. He met with the then current director of Lockheed Skunk Works, which is the most advanced secretive division of Lockheed. He also met with an Air Force general who was in charge of nuclear ICBMs. And these are all individuals that this is a little bit complex, but the former lead singer of Blink 182, brought together and based a book on basically encompassing all these allegations of retrievals and reverse engineering, and these appear to be those sources.
All right, so there in those emails, we saw a connection there. Marik, this is quite a case, and I appreciate your sober analysis of what's potentially at stake here and what might be happening. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.